Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The bold and the beautiful recap is finally in for Monday, September 15th, 2025. In today's episode, Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, explains to Remy Price, Christian Weissman, Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, tells his parents that Luna is alive. Plus, Ridge Forrester, Horston K., gets between Brooke Logan Forrester, Catherine Kelly Lang, and Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson. At Forrester Creations, Ridge thanks Eric Forrester, John McCook, for helping him see the right path. The path to Brooke, the younger designer is worried how Thomas will take the news, though. Seeing Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, so heartbroken really was hard for him. Garrick is sure that Taylor will find a way to move on. Even though it hurts, Ridge admits he's happy. He again brings up Thomas. First, Thomas lost Paris Buckingham, Diamond White, and now Taylor's engagement is over. Eric still thinks Thomas will be just fine. Will Ridge be moving out now that he's married to Brooke again? Eric understands Taylor will move out, but there is no rush. In the dressing room, Thomas continues bashing Brooke over Taylor's heartbreak. Thomas accuses her of making the boat crash happen so Ridge could save her. Thomas suddenly notices the wedding ring. Brooke assures him that she will never be the woman that Taylor is. The blonde also notes that it's not fair for Taylor to have her heart ripped out again. Thomas blows up. Brooke tries to do damage control. This was Ridge's idea. Thomas says she just uses passion as a weapon. As Thomas tries to grab Brooke and scream, Ridge intercepts. Thomas accuses his father of abandoning his family all over again. At Bill Spencer's, Don Diamant, house, Will tells his parents that Luna is alive. The young man explains that Lee Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, saved the young villain. Bill sighs, just like she saved John Finnegan, Tanner Novlin. Bill and Katie Logan, Heather Tom, are horrified, but there is more. Lee has been hiding Luna. Katie now understands why Lee hasn't been working. Then, Will tells them that Luna was the mystery girl the night of the party. At Remy's apartment, Luna continues begging him for help. Luna shot people, but things just got out of control. The young lady calls it fate that she opened the door to Remy's apartment. Remy asks how she accomplished this, but she's vague. Luna brags about sleeping with Will. As Remy stands with his arm crossed, Luna explains how amazing it was with Will. She also admits to impersonating Electra Forrester, Linnea Grace. Luna adds that she hopes that she can give Will something that will bond them forever. The episode opened on a tense, emotionally charged note at Forrester Creations, where the air seemed thick with unspoken truths and simmering tensions. The morning had started quietly, almost deceptively so, but soon spiraled into chaos as Luna, still reeling from recent events, finally confronted the aftermath of her choices. Her explanation would set off a chain reaction of shock, horror, and unexpected alliances, leaving every Forrester tangled in a web of drama. The first scene found Luna in the Forrester design studio, nervously clutching her purse as she prepared to address a room filled with the most formidable forces in Los Angeles fashion: Steffi, Hope, and, most intimidating of all, Bill. Her expression betrayed both fear and determination. Luna knew that the truth she carried could either redeem her in the eyes of the Forrester family or shatter the fragile truce that had been holding for weeks. Hope, ever compassionate but cautious, approached Luna first. "We need answers," she said softly, her voice tinged with exhaustion. Luna's eyes welled up, and she took a shaky breath before beginning her confession. "I never meant for it to go this far. Everything I did because I wanted to protect," she faltered, the words catching in her throat. The camera lingered on her trembling hands, her vulnerability palpable. Luna's confession was a delicate balancing act. She revealed the mistakes that had placed both her and the Forresters in jeopardy, including the recent mishap that had nearly endangered Liam. She spoke of fear, love, and misguided intentions, emphasizing her desire to make amends. Steffi listened intently, her face a mixture of disbelief and reluctant understanding, while Hope's empathetic gaze softened the tension in the room. Yet not everyone was ready to forgive. Bill's posture was rigid, his jaw tight. Luna's explanation was an affront to the control he thought he had over the situation. He wasn't just angry, he was horrified. "You've crossed a line, Luna," he said sharply. "Do you even understand the consequences of what you've done?" His voice resonated with authority, a stark reminder that, in the world of the Forresters, intentions were meaningless if actions caused chaos. While Luna faced the Forresters, the scene shifted to the infamous Beatty household, where Brooke, Taylor, and Ridge's siblings were grappling with the fallout of the weekend's drama. The family gathered in the luxurious living room, a room that often served as the backdrop for both heartfelt discussions and explosive arguments. Today, it would host the latter. Brooke's expression was a mixture of disbelief and despair. "I can't believe this," she whispered, shaking her head. The revelation about Luna had rippled through the family like a shockwave, reigniting old wounds and mistrust. Taylor, ever the voice of reason, tried to mediate, offering calm reflections that sometimes fell on deaf ears. "We have to think carefully before we act," she advised, her eyes darting toward Ridge, who had been unusually quiet. Ridge, the man often caught between loyalty and personal desire, felt a deep sense of horror. His protective instincts kicked in, especially knowing how much Steffi had invested in the situation. He paced, his mind racing. Every decision he had made recently seemed to circle back to this moment of reckoning, and he feared the emotional fallout might be catastrophic. Beatty's horror was not just about Luna, it was about the fragile balance of their family, teetering on the edge of chaos. Back at Forrester Creations, as tensions mounted, Ridge sensed that the confrontation was about to spiral out of control. His timely arrival was dramatic yet purposeful. Entering the room, he commanded attention without saying a word. His presence was a reminder of the family's legacy, the man who often held the threads of the Forrester family together in moments of extreme turbulence. Ridge intercepted the brewing argument between Bill and Luna, positioning himself strategically between the two. "Enough," he said, his voice steady but firm. "We are not letting fear dictate our actions." Ridge's words had a calming effect, even on Bill, who reluctantly stepped back, though his eyes never left Luna. Ridge then turned to Luna, offering her a quiet but supportive nod. It was a silent message: "Speak your truth, and we'll face it together." The interception wasn't merely physical, it was emotional. Ridge reminded everyone of the stakes, not just professionally but personally. He spoke of trust, forgiveness, and the need to navigate mistakes with care. The scene was a masterclass in tension resolution, blending raw emotion with the practical wisdom of a man who had weathered countless storms in both love and business. While Ridge managed the immediate crisis, the side conversations in the room were just as electrifying. Hope, Steffi, and Bill engaged in a heated exchange that revealed hidden agendas, secret fears, and simmering resentment. Hope was the moral compass, advocating for understanding and a chance to move forward. "People make mistakes," she argued passionately. "But that doesn't mean we destroy them for life." Steffi's stance was more complex. Her protective instincts for Liam clashed with her desire to support Luna. The tension between personal loyalty and ethical responsibility was palpable. "It's not that simple," she insisted. "This affects all of us, and we can't ignore that." Her gaze flicked toward Bill, whose calculating eyes betrayed his internal struggle. Bill, the ever-formidable patriarch, was wrestling with a cocktail of anger, disbelief, and strategic calculation. His horror was compounded by the realization that Luna's actions had exposed vulnerabilities in his own family dynamics. He paused, considering his next move. Would he double down on control, or could he let empathy guide him for once? The camera captured a fleeting softness in his expression, a momentary glimpse of humanity in a man often driven by power. The episode's emotional intensity peaked when Luna's vulnerability catalyzed introspection among the Forresters. Steffi and Hope exchanged meaningful glances, understanding that the path forward would require compromise and courage. Even Bill, hardened by years of personal and professional battles, faced an internal reckoning. Ridge's intervention had shifted the dynamic, offering a window for dialogue rather than destruction. Luna, sensing the fragile opportunity, continued her heartfelt explanation. She revealed the personal stakes that had influenced her decisions, her fears, her love for Liam, and her desperate attempts to protect relationships she cherished. The room was silent, hanging on every word. This was not just a confession, it was a plea for understanding, a moment that could redefine alliances and reshape the family's trajectory. Meanwhile, the episode masterfully wove in subtle subplots, reminding viewers that in The Bold and the Beautiful, no storyline exists in isolation. Wyatt's recent tension with Steffi lingered in the background, his presence casting a shadow of uncertainty over her decisions. Carter and Quinn's professional negotiations hinted at future conflicts, their subtle glances suggesting that loyalty in the Forrester universe is always conditional. Even minor interactions carried weight. A passing comment from Zen to Paris hinted at undercurrents of romantic tension, while minor staff members at Forrester Creations exchanged knowing looks, aware that the day's events would ripple through the company. Every frame contributed to the sense that the world of B&AMP, B is a living, breathing organism, where every action has consequences that can echo far beyond the immediate scene. As the episode drew to a close, the tension reached a fever pitch. Ridge's moral intervention had prevented immediate disaster, but the fallout was far from resolved. Luna's truth hung in the air like a storm cloud, the ramifications yet to be fully realized. Bill retreated with a measured, contemplative expression, his mind undoubtedly plotting his next move. Steffi and Hope exchanged quiet reassurances, but their concern for Liam remained unspoken yet deeply felt. The camera lingered on Ridge, standing tall amidst the chaos, a silent sentinel for his family. His interception had altered the course of the confrontation, but questions lingered. Would Luna's confession truly heal old wounds, or would it deepen the fractures within Beatty? How long could Bill's horror simmer before it erupted into action? And, most importantly, what would Liam think when he learned the full truth? The episode ended with a dramatic shot of Luna, standing alone in the Forrester studio, her eyes reflecting both fear and determination. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear. The events of this day had set in motion a new chapter of emotional turbulence, intrigue, and unexpected alliances in the world of the bold and the beautiful. Monday, September 15th, was a masterclass in soap opera storytelling. Luna's vulnerable yet courageous explanation set the stage for conflict and reconciliation. Beatty's horror highlighted the fragility of familial and professional alliances. And Ridge's timely intervention underscored the power of wisdom, timing, and emotional intelligence in preventing disaster. The episode expertly balanced suspense, drama, and character development, ensuring that viewers would be glued to their screens for the next installment. From heartfelt confessions to strategic interventions, this episode showcased the full spectrum of human emotion, reminding audiences why The Bold and the Beautiful remains a staple of daytime television drama. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Bold and Amp Beautiful Update YouTube channel for more update news.